Hi and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make these really easy but really effective and useful face mask ear protectors. So these are what our NHS staff and other key workers have been using, and basically they go into the back of your neck there. They actually just fit snug in the back of the neck, and then when they wear the face protectors, the strings of those go around the buttons, and that's stopping their ears from hurting, as I believe that they have been rubbing and causing soreness. I know one of my friends, her masks are too big, they keep slipping off, so they are perfect. So for this tutorial you'll need your yarn. Now the preferred yarn to use is cotton. This is just a cotton DK, and that's because it washes well at 60 degrees. If you don't have cotton, then you can use acrylic. I've been told apparently they are still washing okay, they probably just don't last as long as cotton. You will need buttons to tie onto the ends. Now these buttons I've got here, they're only small ones. They're, what are they, about 15mm. So between 15mm, 20mm is perfect. You'll need your crochet hook, darning needle and embroidery scissors. The crochet hook size I'm using is a 4mm. The length of the ear protector is 5 inches, which is 12.5 centimeters long. So that's what you're aiming for. The one I've done is just using the double crochet stitch. That's double crochet in the UK. It's referred to as a single crochet in the US. They're very simple to make. I suppose you could do them with other stitches, and if you're using different weights of yarn or different hook sizes, that will alter the size. So you just need to refer to the measurements, and the ones I've just shown you are the measurements you're looking for. So let's get started. So I'm using a blue cotton yarn for the purpose of this tutorial because it'll show up better for you. So start with a slip knot. Also guys, if you've subscribed to my channel, then thank you so much. You're all lovely and I love reading and responding to your comments. If you've not subscribed, then you can do so by clicking the link down below, and if you tick the bell next to it and click all, it just means you'll get notified every time I upload a tutorial, and it is free to subscribe. YouTube or myself don't charge you. If you've got any questions at any point, then pop them in the comments below, or contact me on social media. My links, again, they're in the description box, and I'll also put the written pattern in the description box for you as well. So we've got a slip knot and we've got it on our hook. What we want to do first is chain 20 plus 1, so 21 in total. So if you'd like to go ahead and do that. So I've got my 21 there now. If you're not quite there, just pause the video till you are. And we're going to work into the second chain from the hook. So we don't count what's on the hook. Sorry, we don't count what's on the hook. We're not counting that one. So it's this one here, the second chain from the hook. And we're going to do a double crochet single in the US. So insert your hook, grab the yarn to pull up a loop. So you've got 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. And all we're going to do is do that all the way along in each stitch. We'll just put 1 double crochet. So if you'd like to do that, and I'll meet you at the end. So by the time you've got to the end, you should have 20 stitches in total. So what you want to do now is just chain 1 and turn your work, and that chain 1 is just a turning chain. So we're going to work into the first space, which is this one here. Okay, so it's not that chain 1 we've just done. And all we're going to do is do a double crochet, single in the US, back along. So we're working into each stitch along until we get to the end, and that will be 20 stitches. So if you'd like to go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you at the end and show you how to not miss that very last stitch, because it can sometimes hide a little from you. So if you pause the video, do 1 double crochet into each stitch along until you get to the end, and I'll meet you back here. Okay, so I'm just approaching the end of my work, and I've just got 2 stitches left. So I've got 1 here, and then it can sometimes look like you've finished the row, and what tends to happen is this very last stitch, if you can see, if you always turn it on its side and look at it that way, you can see the V there, but it kind of bends around from the very last one from the previous row. And if ever you start to, you know, if you're working blankets and things like that, and you start to miss stitches or gain them and you go in a triangle, that's why. It's that last one that can sometimes get missed. So just make sure you do that one, and then it's nice and straight. So again, you should have 20 stitches in total, and then we're just going to chain 1 again, turn our work again, and just do exactly the same. So we're inserting our hook here, put a double crochet and put 1 in all along, 1 in each stitch all along, and that's a total of 20 stitches. So at the end, again, it doesn't kind of curl up quite as much. You can see that chain 1 from the previous round, so that's not a stitch. Your last stitch is that one there. That one there. So if you'd like to complete that, and that's the pattern really. So we've just done it once, twice. We're just on the 3rd row, and it's 5 rows in total, and that's all it is. It is easy as that. So if you go ahead and finish the 3rd row, chain 1, turn, do the same again, and do it for 5 in total, and then I'll just show you in case you need assistance on putting on the buttons. So I've just got to the end of my 5th and final row, so I'm just going to tie off. So yarn over and pull up a loop and snip that off. Now for your buttons, firstly what you want to check is whether your darning needle will go through the eyelets. This is a smaller darning needle that I've got, so it will go through, but then also you want to just make sure, I've not tried it on this particular cotton yet, just cut a piece off. You want to also make sure that this will, thread through. So if you've got really chunky darning needles and they won't go through the eyelets of the buttons, then you can just use ordinary cotton and an ordinary needle. But if these work, then you can stick with that. So your buttons just want to go right at the end really. So you've got, I'll use the orange one for you. So you've got a little tiny overhang there. Of course you want to make sure when you go in, you're actually sewing into part of the stitch, not just a gap, if you will. Not a gap in the stitch. So I'm going to go up into there, and I'm just going to leave a tail there because I'll tie that in. Sorry, I didn't realise I'm off camera there. And just sew that on, making sure you're catching the stitch behind. Obviously, because the cotton's quite chunky, I'll probably only be able to go around twice, but because it's thick, I'm sure that will be secure enough. See if I can go a third time. No, so twice, but that will be enough. So pop both your buttons on, and then it's just a case of tying in the ends. So I'll complete mine. If you complete yours, I'll meet you back here. So that's all completed. Now I just wanted to point out, and it's probably more apparent on this white one actually. It's not too bad now. I've stretched it a little. But basically, if your work starts to arch like that one way and you're thinking, have I done something wrong? Or why is it doing that? Basically, your starting chain, I should have said this at the beginning really. It depends what type of tension you have. I have quite a tight tension naturally, I think. So if you do that starting chain quite tight, then the rest of your stitches are going to be loose and kind of bend over, if you will. So try and do the starting chain a little bit looser, not too loose. Or failing that, I kept pulling this one out here and it obviously seems to have worked. Just stretch it out, but it's not that you've done anything wrong. So I'd just like to say you're all, you know, if you're out there making these, you're absolutely amazing. I'm so blessed really to be able to communicate with you guys and to be part of a community of crocheters that just seem to be the best people on the planet, in my opinion. You've all got such kind hearts. The rainbows, the bear medics, the frontline hero bear rather, all the lovely things that you're doing, and these small acts of kindness, they make a massive difference to the world, especially at times like these. So I just think you should give yourselves a big pat on the back. So anyway, I hope you're all well. Come and say hi on Facebook or Instagram. I'll pop my details below. It's a nice little community we've got going, especially on the Facebook. There's a group there where people do help each other. You're welcome to head over and join. But for now, I hope this tutorial's helped you, and I shall see you again soon.